you.
Why wasn't it? There you go.
Okay.
I'm having.
Good evening and welcome to the
Yeah.
South River Board of Education regular meeting of Monday, February 27th, 2023. In compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act, Chapter 231, Laws of 1975 of the State of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting of the South River Board of Education was provided in the following manner. On February 3rd, 2023, the notice was delivered to the office of the South River Borough Clerk and posted at the Board of Education Administration Building. On February 3rd, 2023, the notice was faxed, emailed, mailed to the following newspapers: Home News Tribune, Sentinel. On February 3rd, 2023, the notice was posted at the South River Borough Clerk's office. Mr. Rosa, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Bazak.
Mr. Bazak has been excused.
Mr. Butson. Here. Mrs. Bush.
Here.
Ms. Byrne.
Ms. Byrne has been excused.
Mrs. Lau.
Here.
Mr. Nielsen.
Here.
Ms. Sadowski.
Here.
Ms. Young Yao.
Here.
Ms. Urbanic.
Here.
Jaden Rodriguez.
Here.
Double call.
Thank you. Okay, our first order of business, we're going to stay with our board secretary, Mr. Rosa. We have some minutes.
So there has been no change from our pre-meeting, just the January 30th regular meeting minutes.
Okay, board members, what is your pleasure on these minutes?
Move the minutes is read.
And that's a motion by Mr. Nielsen. Is
Second.
there a second by Ms. Lell? Any questions? Seeing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Next item, Mr. Rosa, use of facilities.
Use of facilities, there have not been any new items, so it's the same as the pre-meeting.
Okay, thank you. And again, what is the board's pleasure on these use of facilities?
Nielsen, move the use of facilities in accordance with board policies.
We have a motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Mrs. Sadowski. Are there any questions on any of these use of facilities? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Our financial report, Ms. Slough.
Thank you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby certifies that it is in receipt of the financial report, which indicates that no major account has been overexpended and that sufficient funds are available to meet the district's financial obligations for the remainder of the fiscal year. The Finance Committee recommends that the reports of the Board Secretary and the Treasurer of School Monies for December 2022 be approved, and I so move.
Thank you. We have a motion by Ms. Lowe. Is there a second?
Second by Nielsen.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now over to our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Zurcher.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Urbanic. There are several items on my superintendent's report today. I'd like to begin with the parent advisory meeting. We held the second meeting of the school year this month. And we began the meeting by discussing several topics that were brought up at the first meeting back in the fall. These included field trips, bathroom supplies, and the upcoming application for the 21st Century Grant. The updates on all of those items were positive, as we've had some changes in all of those areas. And then we had some new topics for discussion, which included the recent implementation of Tutor.com, expanding parent awareness of items that are allowed at school, and potentially updating our policy in that regard to give some clarity to parents as to what regular household items may seem dangerous or inappropriate for school, even under conditions of no intent to harm. These parent advisory meetings are held periodically. We do hold them via Zoom. We invite a certain group of parents that had expressed an interest in participating at the beginning of the year when we developed the concept. And our first meeting we held during the evening, this one we held during the day. We will continue to alternate in order to make that availability accessible for the parents in the group. We also had a traffic safety committee meeting this month. We had several stakeholders attend this meeting, including some of our board members and parents. Ms. Sadowski was in attendance, as well as Ms. Danielle. We had members of SRPD. We had teachers attend, and some of our school administration. We really talked about the issues facing our arrival and dismissal challenges, especially at the elementary and middle schools, high school area as well. And we really took a look at the problem from all of those different stakeholder perspectives. We came up with, as a committee, with 4 potential approaches to improving conditions. Those 4 recommendations are going to be shared with the board's safety and risk committee at an upcoming committee meeting. And then the safety and risk committee will report out to the full board with their recommendation for anything that requires board action. So it was probably about almost a 2-hour meeting, and we really got a lot done in a short period of time, in that period of time. I want to remind our parents, especially our high school parents, of the lunchtime clubs and the help and access period at the high school. There are just so many activities and clubs that students can participate in, and we really, really encourage participation during that time. It's a great way for students to have some healthy, good social opportunity with peers during a time that can otherwise be unstructured. The help and access period is also available daily for students to see teachers and staff whenever they need additional help and support. They can also use that time if they participate in after-school activities or after-school work. They could be using that time to complete homework and to complete assignments. So we're definitely encouraging our students and our parents to encourage their children to really use and make the most out of this time. I included in my report a link to a complete listing and description of all of our clubs. So please check that out. I'd like to inform the community that we are having our yearly curriculum fair. We were able to hold it once again. Last year we were able to hold it after a hiatus due to COVID, but we're once again very excited to bring this event. The event is scheduled for Thursday, May 25th. That is right before our Memorial Day holiday, which now is tradition. That's when we hold our curriculum fair. And new for this year is the addition of the Star Lab, which is going to be in the middle school gym. So we will have the art show in the middle school cafeteria. We will have, of course, our displays here at the high school, our department tables and displays here at the high school, performances at the high school auditorium, and now the Star Lab for parents and children to visit, where we will be having activities throughout the evening in the middle school gym. More information will follow on that, and we look forward to really making it the great event it's always been, and even bigger and better this year. Our students are going to be asked to participate in a day of service in June. We really do believe in helping our students learn about the importance of providing service, volunteerism, and so we're dedicating one day in the district for every student to be engaged in a service activity, and then have a period of just reflection about how participating in that service feels. So our assistant superintendent and our teacher leaders are developing different service day activities that are appropriate for each grade level, and we will communicate more on that, but we're excited about our day of service. And certainly if anybody wants to contribute an idea or help us in that planning process, we've given a link to Ms. Napolitano's email, so please contact her in that regard. And the spring is coming, even though it doesn't feel like it tonight. Spring is coming, and along with spring, we are back to standardized required testing. So our testing calendar is posted on the district website, and I really encourage our parents to be aware of just those testing dates, making sure that students receive enough sleep, get a good breakfast, and are as prepared as they can be. We know our teachers have been working hard with our students and getting them prepared, and making sure that our kids are comfortable and ready on that day is also a great help. And with that concludes my report for the month. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a motion on the superintendent's report?
Nielsen, move the superintendent's report as read.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Mrs. Sadowski. Are there any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we are going to go to our first open session for the public under reception of visitors. At this time, the public may address agenda items only. When you come up to the microphone, please state your name and address, and please keep your comments to a 10-minute time limit. There will be a portion later on in the meeting where you may discuss any other items for the Board of Education. Right now, it's for agenda items only. On first call, second call, third call. We're going to close this portion and move on. Under President of the Board, we do have a resolution that I'm going to be reading, and this is a resolution of the Board of Education of the Borough of South River in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, canceling the March 14, 2023 special school district election. Whereas on January 2nd, 2023, the Board of Education of the Borough of South River in the County of Middlesex, New Jersey, the Board, adopted a resolution scheduling a special school district election for Tuesday, March 14, 2023. And whereas the Board now seeks to cancel that March 14, 2023 special school district election. Now therefore, be it resolved by the Board that the Board hereby cancels the March 14, 2023 special school district and authorizes and/or ratifies bond counsel to notify county and borough election officials of such cancellation. This resolution shall take effect immediately, and I so move. Is there a second?
Nielsen,
Second by Mr. Nielsen. Mr. Rosa, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Budson,
yes.
Mrs. Bush,
Yes.
Mrs. Lau,
Yes.
Mr. Nielsen,
Yes.
Ms. Sadowski,
Yes.
Ms. Young Yao,
Yes.
Ms. Urbanic.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Our consent resolution, we will move to next. Mr. Rosa.
The South River Board of Education, by means of a consent resolution, adopt various resolutions of a routine and non-controversial nature at one time. And whereas the below listed resolutions are hereby adopted by the Board of Education in whole, as if the same were individually acted upon. Those include the Superintendents of Schools 3.2, under Finance 8.1 through 8.14, under Instruction 9.1 through 9.4, the Policy and Legislation 11.1 through 11.2, the Human Resources 12.1 through 12.25, and under Safety and Risk Management 13.1 through 13.4.
Thank you. Is there a motion on that consent resolution?
Nielsen,
Motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Ms. Lell. Any questions or anything that needs to be pulled or read separately? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go on to our committee reports. Our first committee report is our athletics. Mr. Budson.
There's nothing on the agenda, just wish the boys good luck tomorrow. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Madam President, if I may.
Yes, please.
We have a small wrestling team here in South River. We have had 5, sometimes 6 wrestlers that would hit the mat this year. But we were lucky enough that 2 of our wrestlers were able to make it to the regions, which is the final step before everybody goes to Atlantic City for the state championships. Joseph Lepore at 132 finished the season at 12-3, and I'm proud to say my son Thomas at 106 finished the season at 17-5. But neither of those 2 wrestlers were able to finish in the top 4 out of the 19 other schools that were there. So that's the end of the Ram wrestling season. And the middle school had a very good year with wrestlers, and they have a large group. So hopefully we'll be able to put more than 5 to 6 wrestlers on the mat next year. And that's all I have.
Thank
I'd also
you,
like
Mr.
to add
Nielsen. Great
that my
news.
niece Alexa Young, first year wrestler, she was top 8 in her region. So,
That's all good stuff. That's
Yep.
great. That's great.
first time ever.
Mr. Nielsen, thanks for those additions. We really have to blow our own horn here, so to speak.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Mr. Nielsen, please continue with your buildings and grounds.
Nothing new to report tonight under buildings and grounds, except that hopefully this snow or sleet will turn over to rain and we won't have any problems come morning.
I don't think we will, thank you. Finance, Ms. Lowe.
There were only a couple of additions. So in 8.10, the requisition list was adjusted. And then the only two items I'd like to read into the record from the pre-meeting are 8.13, addition approved emergency purchase under NJSA 18A:18A-7 and NJAC 5:34-6.1 with DI Group Architecture, French and Perlo Associates, and Accurate Construction, Inc. for the 22-23 school year. And 8.14, addition approved contract Miguel Concepcion, sound technician services provider for the middle school for the 22-23 school year. That is all I have.
Thank you. Under instruction, Mrs. Bush.
So we have an addition to the addition, right? So we have 9.4 is field trips we talked about on Thursday evening, but there was an addition to the list of field trips. In case anybody missed it, it's grade 2. They're going to Close Encounters of the Coast in Sandy Hook. So we're approving that this evening. I did mention last week that I was going to ask Dr. Trevisano about the courses that they were adding, just to make sure everybody is aware. He did get back to me. AP Pre-Calculus is being added. It is a brand new course offered by College Board, so there's a lot of districts moving toward that. So we removed what was Pre-Calc honors, and we moved to AP Pre-Calc. Along the same lines, Spanish 4 honors is being replaced with AP Spanish. And then we kind of aligned some of our then we have 2 new courses. Let's get to those, right? So we have the Personality and Clinical Psychology, which is continuing to build our psychology program, and a brand new course on podcasting that's going to be added. But then we realigned and renamed some courses that are already in existence, just to make them more current, and to align them with today's standards of what the students, when they graduate, need to do. So we have computer graphic communications, production graphics, and engineering technologies. That is all I have.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We do not have any items to discuss under negotiation. So now that you've caught your breath, would you please continue with policy and legislation, Mrs. Bush?
There's nothing new since last week there.
Okay. Human Resources, Mr. Nielsen.
Nothing new since last week, Madam President.
Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to our Safety and Risk Management, Mrs. Sadowski.
Thank you. There's nothing new on the agenda since Thursday, but I did just want to echo what Dr. Surgery was saying in her monthly report, that recently a traffic committee was formed to discuss and resolve some of the traffic issues that are occurring around the schools at the beginning and the end of the school day. The committee met for the first time last Thursday, and we're able to come up with 4 potential solutions to alleviate some of the traffic issues. And these solutions will first be discussed with the Safety and Risk Management Committee, and then it's going to be presented to the full board, and we'll be able to report back to the public once some resolutions are determined. Thank you.
Thank you. Under School Community Relations, Ms. Young-Yo.
There are no items on the agenda.
Okay. Now some more of our committee reports. Our School Board Borough Council Liaison, Mr. Nielsen.
Nothing to report, Madam President.
Thank you. PTA Liaison, Mrs. Sadowski.
Thank you. In February, we celebrated the 100th day of school. There was also a elementary Valentine's Day dance that was sponsored by the PTA. Primary school held a cake decorating contest last Friday night. We're getting into Read Across America month. The elementary and primary have theme days lined up. They're also having guest readers come in. I'm attending both schools on Friday. I'll be reading my little heart out. The primary school is also having a reading contest, and there's lots of planning going on for Teacher Appreciation, Fun Day, first grade moving up, 5th grade fun night, and anything else I missed for the end of the year. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. South River Public Library Liaison, Mr. Budzen.
On Mondays, they still have the adult yoga classes after 4 p.m. On On March 2nd at 6 p.m., you have the Dr. Seuss Magic Show. On March 6th at 6 p.m., you have the Social Security Educational Seminar. And on March 30th, you have Eastern European food traditions. I have a lecture on that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Our South River Foundation for Educational Excellence Liaison, Ms. Lau.
Thank you. Ms. Oswald's sitting in the audience currently, and she will be sharing out the mini grant information. She had mentioned that she would use it during public comment, if that's okay. In the meantime, the meeting that we had last week referenced the dinner dance from February 3rd, where the three honorees were presented with their resolutions, how it was a really nice success, a nice evening for all. She shared how Mr. Bazak had won the 50-50 raffle and proceeded to give it back, how Mr. Nielsen's connections with a duck hunting club upstairs was able to bring forth some additional funds to the association, and if anybody is interested, the deadline is March 15th if they would like to be a part of SRF moving forward. And that is all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Our Student Board Representative, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you. Well, I just want to say congratulations to the class of 2026. Last week they had a lip sync battle. Great turnout. It's always fun to see the groups of different classes get up on stage and dance to different music and sing different music. Also, congratulations to all winter sports, including the boys basketball, for making it this far. Hopefully they can win tomorrow, and if they do win tomorrow, then they will move on to Group 2 states. So if you can, and if they do win tomorrow, please support them. So, thank you.
Very good, thank you. Is there any old or new business to come before the board at this time?
Can I add
Yeah.
something? I noticed that in our paperwork, last month and this month, it's nice to see that we have former students returning to do mentoring here. So I saw a couple of names last agenda. Emily used to play basketball for us. Michael was a 3-sport athlete. He was on last month's agenda. And it's nice to see that they're pursuing something related to education, and they're being placed back here in their home district with approval to move forward. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
That's good, that's a good observation, thank you. Mr. Parton, anything under attorney's report?
No, nothing to report.
Thank you. And Mrs. Love, would you please read for the payment of bills?
The Finance Committee recommends that all bills presented, having been certified by the School Business Administrator Board Secretary, be paid as listed, and I so move.
So motion by Ms. Lowe, is there a second?
Nielsen?
Motion by second by Mr. Nielsen, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. At this time, we're going to open up the meeting once again to the public. And this is so the public may address any concern or comment they have for the board. Please state your name and address, and please keep your comments to a 10-minute time limit.
Hi, good evening, Danielle Oswald, 16 Garwood Street. I'm here for the South River Foundation for Educational Excellence. And yes, we had a sold-out event. It was very nice, very cold that night. But it was very, very nice, and we want to express our appreciation for all that attended and supported our dinner dance in more ways than one. The mini grant application that we received this year, this is going to the South River primary preschool teachers, Ms. Baker, Ms. Tomorrow, and Ms. Mangione. Ms. Robin from Rhythm Works Integrative Dance for Kids with Special Needs is coming back to do another production or event for the preschool class. She has come in the past through one of our mini grants. I believe it was either 2016 or 17. And just a little bit of a ironic coincidences, I designed the website for Miss Robin for her dance studio out in East Brunswick. So it'll be nice to see her here. And Yeah, SRF is seeking new members. We're looking to bring some new members / new ideas to the Education Foundation. And we are requesting that anybody that's interested complete an application. It can be found on our website. The deadline is March 15th. We have a deadline in place because we have liability insurance coming up and we want to be as fiscally responsible as possible if no volunteers come forward. I hope that does not happen, but we will see. So I hope we have some new members joining SRV to continue this organization. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Oswald. How long has the SRFEE been in, how long have they been in existence?
Summer of 2015.
15? 2015, yeah, that's 7 good years. I hope some people do come forward to help with this organization and to keep it going. 7 years is quite a good run.
And
I hope it continues.
yeah, I've been part since the beginning, so
If you
this
have.
is my final year. It's time to.
Okay, well, if there's anybody out there, please get in touch with Mrs. Oswald, or how else can they get in touch or be part of this?
Through our website, through our Facebook page, they can contact us, or, and just sending an email, anything.
Okay, good, thank you. I know we can do this. Let's go. Let's get some people signed up and in those positions.
But I will note that, no matter what, we are still going to be distributing, senior scholarships, at the end of this school year. So that will still be taking place regardless of if we get new volunteers coming forward. So, and then we'll meet with the administration to talk about plans to.
For the future. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public wishing to speak at this time on first call, second call, third call? We have no other business to come before this meeting, so a motion for adjournment.
Nielsen.
Motion by Mr. Nielsen,
Second.
second by Ms. Young Yao. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.